Hey, what's up, Miami? This is 305 Sports Now. I am your host, Will. Thanks for watching. Please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. And ladies and gentlemen, September 3rd is right around the corner. And as promised, I am going to give you another review of our talented Miami Hurricanes. And today I'll be going over the quarterback position. The quarterback position has been a strong suit of the Miami Hurricanes for the last couple seasons, whether it was with Derek King, all right, in Rhett Lashley's first year as the OC, and the ascension of Tyler Van Dyke, as this year he is propagated to be probably a Heisman Trophy candidate if he continues the trend that he had leaving off with last season, right? But Tyler Van Dyke has been absolutely sensational, right? Coming in for the injured Derek King, he took over, in that Central Connecticut game and has not let go of the reins since then. TVD pretty much finished the season, and that's that he even started with 62% completions, all right, with 2,931 yards passing, 25 touchdowns, and only 6 picks. Let's not forget that Tyler Van Dyke had six straight games with over 300 yards passing, okay? So what makes TVD so good? What makes Tyler Van Dyke such an amazing college quarterback is the fact that he does spread the ball out, all right? He had his favorite targets last year with Mike Harley and Charleston Rambo. Both those guys have gone to the NFL. And right now, he has, pretty much the ascending sophomores that have been, talked about in practice. And then he has, of course, Frank Ladson coming in as well, Kobe Young coming in as well. Plus, he has those talented tight ends with Elijah Arroyo. But let's not forget Will Mallory either, and his running back core as well is pretty solid, even though banged up at the moment, losing 2 scholarship athletes, temporarily speaking, with Don Chaney Jr. getting hurt once again, and Javonte Citizen suffering an injury in practice. He does have some tailbacks that can catch the ball out in the backfield, like Jay Knighton. Right, we got to protect him because Jalen Knighton is not the biggest guy in the world. Thaddeus Franklin and Henry Parrish, all those guys are pass catching running backs as well. So that's it's gonna be an interesting year for TVD. I do believe TVD is going to have another solid season. He's definitely going to break records this year for the Canes, especially under Gaddis' system. And with Mauro Cristobal emphasizing greatly in running the football, all right, that's going to open up passing lanes for Tyler Van Dyke. As mentioned, Tyler Van Dyke does spread the ball out, as even though Charleston Rambo and Mike Harley received a lot of the receptions this past season, he did utilize guys like Keyshawn Smith. He did utilize, when needed to, Brashard Smith as well. He did utilize Xavier Restrepo when needed to be as well, and also the tight ends did receive a few passes from TVD. So he is very good at not just sticking to one guy. He could also receive the reads as well. Gaddis' offense, although in Michigan, was very run heavy, he is a guy that likes to spread the ball out. So Miami will have, a variety of different types of spreads within its system. It's not such a basic system of an air raid offense and tempo like what Rhett Lashley had. Although we loved Rhett Lashley's offense, Miami averaged 34 points, last season. And I think Miami would have had a much higher point total if it wasn't for the fact that Derek King started injured and Tyler Van Dyke had to come in. I do believe if Tyler Van Dyke would have started from day one, the Hurricanes would have probably had a much higher points per game average than they did with 34. With Gaddis, it was 36 at Michigan. They averaged 36 points per game at Michigan, but it did run the ball heavily over in Michigan, more so than it did in Miami. But Kate McNamara, with all due respect to him, is not TVD, all right? So Josh Gaddis does have a much better upgrade at quarterback than he did over when he was coaching up at the Wolverines, right? Which, by the way, he won the OC, basically assistant coach of the year. So he did very well within that system. So what I'm trying to say is that Tyler Van Dyke is going to beast and feast this year, even though it will be a little bit more run than usual. That running game is going to open up passing lanes for Tyler Van Dyke, and a guy that knows his reads, like TVD very well, can look at defenses and make adjustments to what the defense is giving him, is going to have a very good year passing the football, especially with the talented receivers that he has. Now, the receivers have come into questions because, as reported by several outlets, whether it's Inside the U, Canes All Access, or even local reporters here in South Florida, there's been a lot of inconsistency amongst the wide receivers. This wide receiver core, if all of you remember from last year, this young receiver core is way too talented to remain inconsistent. They will get it together, all right? And nothing is better than having 2 games that you can fix your kinks, right, to open the season with before you get, over or go over to Texas A&M and play them on their home turf. All right. So what I'm trying to say is that the Rashard Smiths, the Keyshawn Smiths, the Restrepos, the Brinsons of the world will get their act together, in terms of catching the football, all right, not dropping the ball so much and getting the routes and stuff like that in order by the time they face Texas A&M. They have to, all right. If not, it's going to be a long day for this team. But Tyler Van Dyke has looked sensational, in practice. Okay, delivering the deep ball in angles as well, basically, and receivers, or for only the receiver can catch the football, basically. If a guy's fading out of bounds, so on, Tyler Van Dyke delivers the ball perfectly, keeping the ball away from the defender, zipping the ball as well in practice. Some of his interceptions that have been reported in practice have been because of miscommunication between him and the receiver, not because of a misread. Now, Jake Garcia and Jacory Brown is a little different story. Okay, they tried fitting the ball into tight windows. TVD's picks have been because of the receiver running the wrong route. That's pretty much what has happened, in terms of why, TVD has had some interceptions. I'm sure, that defensive backfield is really talented, and the defense has been excelling at practice. As a matter of fact, they say it's ahead of the offense, and the depth that's been added on through the transfer portal, especially in the defensive line and the linebacker position as well, has helped, the defense, be more aggressive and help the defense, raise havoc at practice. But nonetheless, TVD will definitely be okay. And he's definitely buying into the Gaddis system and what Coach Cristobal has brought to the table to the University of Miami this season, in the offseason, and for as the season begins as well. Now, what makes TVD so good? Okay, so why is that Tyler Van Dyke is such a phenomenon of a quarterback? Tyler Van Dyke, Tyler Van Dyke was the number one recruit, was the number one player in the state of Connecticut. Okay, he was the top player, right, in Connecticut. He was recruited by several schools. Miami came in. Much credit to Dan Enos and Manny Diaz for being able to land him. All right. One of the reasons why he did come to Miami is because of the pro style offense that, or the pistol type of pro style pistol that Dan Enos was running. He was sold on Rhett Lashley, and the rest is history. But what Tyler Van Dyke, I think has helped him excel is the fact that he's also a multi-sport athlete. Tyler Van Dyke wasn't just a football player. He was also a pitcher in high school. Now, if you notice the way he throws the football, he throws it diagonally. When I was talking to Manny Matsakis, a longtime college football coach and currently head coach over in Atlanta for the Fan Control Football League, in general, he basically said that some scouts in the NFL might have a problem with that. I hope they don't, because the way he zips the ball out, his accuracy and that deep ball, it'd be a shame that teams pass up on him only because of a slight technicality in his mechanics. He's not like Tim Tebow, that Tim Tebow would throw from the hip. He does throw, from where a quarterback is supposed to throw. The ball just comes out a little bit differently than, let's say, most quarterbacks throw it. But Tyler Van Dyke was a pitcher. He, as a pitcher in high school, okay, his senior year, he had an ERA of 1.08. 1.08. All right. He had 6 wins, pretty much, 47 strikeouts, and opponent batting average was at 128. He was virtually unhittable. Now, multi-sport athletes, the reason why I believe they're successful once they pick a sport they specialize in is because they get the best of every sport and they put it together. Let's take baseball, for example. We rarely see multi-sport athletes anymore, or two-way athletes, like, for example, Brian Jordan or Deion Sanders, who excelled both in baseball and football. Brian Jordan played football as well. Bo Jackson was a hell of a running back. Could have been a top 5 running back if it wasn't for his disastrous hip injury. He was also a very good baseball player for the White Sox and the Royals. All right. So being a multi-sport athlete, in high school or even in college does help because, for example, if you're playing baseball, you get a ground ball that's difficult to catch. Once you catch that baseball and you're a second baseman trying to go to first, you have to throw that ball with precision. All right. To the first baseman, even if you one hop it, it has to end up clearly and with precision in the first baseman's glove. Why? If not, it becomes a wild throw. Guy's safe at first. So that's very difficult to do when you're off balance, running and throwing at the same time. When you're a pitcher in baseball, accuracy in terms of hitting the catcher's mitt is very important. It makes a difference between striking a guy out hitting a ground ball, or someone putting it in the street, as a home run. Same thing with basketball. Okay. And football. LeBron James played, I believe, wide receiver or tight end in high school when he was in Akron. Now look at him as a basketball player. Very talented, could take hits because he took hits in football. So it prepared him for being an elite basketball player. Jimmy Graham, Antonio Gates, multi-sport athletes, all right, basketball players. So what I'm trying to say is that the fact that he didn't just specialize in one sport, he embraced other sports as well, has made TVD a much better competitor and a better all-around quarterback because he has that baseball mentality of being precise, all right, and he's applied it to being a quarterback as well. So that's what I believe makes Tyler Van Dyke such an amazing quarterback, is the fact that he's able to bring what he learned in baseball and apply it to football as well. Okay. Now that's a little bit for Tyler Van Dyke. All right. Like I said, amazing deep ball, precise and zipping the ball as well. Can throw the outs very easily, could throw the middle of the field, could throw receivers open. There's a lot that Tyler Van Dyke has to offer as a quarterback, and he's going to have a very sensational season. I will be very surprised if TVD does not break single season records this year as a Cane. I will be extremely surprised if he does not break records because he's just that good. And I do believe that the Miami Hurricanes will have a very good season because he is at the helm, all right, barring injury, right? He is at the helm. But TVD has proven that he's also very durable. He took some shots early on last year. He took some shots from the Florida State defense, bounced back, and was able to come back with some good performances. All right, so I just want to go over a little bit Jake Garcia, right, who is a QB2 at the moment. Jake Garcia was a 4-star product out of Georgia. Could be considered a dual-threat quarterback. Leans more pocket passer, but he could take off and run, and he is also very good at RPOs as well. All right, he was the 5th best player in the state of Georgia. All right, 5th best player in the state of Georgia. 8th best quarterback overall. All right, as well. He's very accurate. Okay, he's very accurate, has very good intangibles. His only weakness, and it's a very minor weakness, and this is from high school scouts and so on who were judging him, before he got to college, is difficulties in throwing the run. But out of a rating of 10, he's rated like a 7 or a 6, something like that. So that's not too shabby. Everything else, he excels at 8 and 9. So Jake Garcia, is in a very good position, as far as the quarterbacking group goes. So if Tyler Van Dyke goes down, Miami is in good shape with Jake. Ja'Cory Brown, right? Ja'Cory Brown comes from Georgia as well. 4-star, dual threat quarterback, could run, could throw. Amazing arm strength. All right. Amazing arm strength, is a talented playmaker. The only knock on Ja'Cory is his accuracy, delivering the deep ball and so on. And in many cases, he doesn't hit the receivers in the way they're supposed to be. That's according to, analytics in 247. And even, in practice as well, those that cover the Canes have said that Ja'Cory does struggle a bit with his accuracy, but he has greatly improved. Okay. The quarterback coaching of Frank Ponce and Gaddis, in terms of system being also hands-on with the quarterbacks as well, has greatly helped Ja'Cory, this season. It's going to be a major quarterback battle once TVD decides to take that next step and go into the NFL. All right. But Miami's quarterback class is going to be straight solid for the next 3 to 4 seasons. All right. The Miami Hurricanes are not going to have a weakness at quarterback, because then you have Jaden Rashada coming in as well, and you have Emery Williams coming in as well. Do not sleep on Emery Williams. I know he's a 3-star. This is a senior season. He could pull up to being a 4-star. Again, stars to me don't really matter. I know that some people may not agree with me, but stars at times don't really matter because it all depends on how the player develops as well. In college, you may have raw talent, not had the best coaching in high school, but once you get to college, you end up on a good coaching staff and they coach you up and you excel as a player. That happens a lot. All right. Emery Williams is a pure pro style quarterback with an amazing deep ball. All right. And that's something that is very essential in today's game, where the spread offense, dominates the college football landscape altogether. And then, of course, Jaden Rashada, the 5-star quarterback, kid's a stud, dual threat quarterback as well. Very good deep ball, very accurate, is a very good playmaker. So Miami's quarterback situation for the next few years, at least till 2025, 2026, is set. All right. The Miami Hurricanes will not have a quarterback problem for many years to come. And that is great for recruiting. That's great for recruiting skill position players and that's great for the team as well. All right, so that's just a little bit about the quarterbacks. As I want to talk about, I'm excited about Bethune. I'm excited to see Mark Cristobal roll out his team. I'm excited to see college football again all together. I'm excited to see this Hurricanes football team. All right, please, ladies and gentlemen, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. And remember, please remember, I have a goal, and let's work it together. Right, I have a goal: 1,000 subscribers. 1,000 subscribers by the end of September. Let's hit that number. Let's hit that 1K number. Continue growing this YouTube channel, growing the podcast as well. Got some stuff coming up for you real soon. This week, on Monday of next week, I will be airing an interview with Elio Tarago. He is, if you do not remember, the founder and CEO of 305 Fights TV. They have an event coming up at September 3rd. All right, at the Manuel Art Time, Arena over in Little Havana. And also, I'll be interviewing this upcoming Tuesday. I'll be interviewing Channel 10's Local 10 sports anchor, Clay Ferrari. He's coming back to the show. We'll be discussing Fins and Canes as well. So again, I'm not stopping. So please keep me going, all right? Hit that like button, subscribe, and share to all your friends. Once again, I am Will for 305 Sports Now. Have a wonderful day. Stay safe, and God bless. See you soon.